Welcome to the brand new series on this channel called The Survivor Effect. The mission of this series is simple. I sit down with past players and we unpack their game, what really happened, what the edit missed, and how it hits their real lives after. Most of what's filmed never airs, so we're here digging deep for the other 99%. I'll be sitting down with past players and walking through what their life looked like before they ever stepped foot on the island, what the game itself was like, and then how everything shifted once they came back home. Each player's journey is honestly so different, and I want to give fans the chance to see that side of it. And I'm grinding to get out there on that island myself, and having these real talks with past players is one step of the plan. So if you want the story behind the story, stick around. Drop a comment with who I should talk to next, and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next deep dive. I had a lot of fun making this video, and I can't wait to create more. All right, enjoy the show. All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the first episode of my new series that I'm putting out on this channel called The Survivor Effect. And with me, the one and only season 47, Gabe Ortis. Gabe, what's going on, man? How you doing?
How we doing? So happy to be here, and this is going to be fun, man.
I'm so excited because I feel like once Survivor's over, you guys go through so much, and a lot of that is, not aired. I did the math. It's like per episode, it's like 99.3% of what actually happened during that time range is actually aired on TV. So there's so much of your guys' story.
Oh, a ton. So much. I mean, you get I always tell people that there's Survivor the game and there's Survivor the show, and they're dramatically different things. The only thing that's the same is that the show creates the show from the game, but they're completely different things. And the stories that get told, the people who get airtime, all of that has to do with whatever story the producers are trying to tell. And that's fine. That's the process. That's what it's supposed to be, But yeah, there is just so much that gets left on the cutting room floor. And I'm sure that we're going to get into this, but I feel very lucky that despite that being true, I think that the storytelling of my season was very honest and very proper. There's pretty much nothing that was actually consequential to our season that I was like, how did that not make it? Everything that needed to be in there made it onto the show.
That's impressive.
Yeah, which is a tough thing to do. And that is not the case for many seasons. It's not the case for most seasons, I'd say. So I think they really knocked it out of the park when it came to editing our season. And it's a very satisfying thing to be everything that I know happened out there that I was expecting to make the episodes did make the episodes. But even with that being true, there's still so much stuff that doesn't make it, for sure.
Yep. That's a good point. I've been able to chat with a few other players as well. I know I've gotten in touch with Saul, and he's going to hop on here, and I'm super stoked for that. I actually just listened to your guys' your most recent podcast.
Yeah.
You guys were chatting up the sports movies at the end.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. I'm a huge movie buff. I have a home theater in the other room. It's a legit home theater.
Yeah.
I'm a huge movie guy. But
nice, man.
So let's start from the beginning. What made you decide to want to apply in the first place, and what was happening in your life at that time?
So I had a roommate who was a huge Survivor fan, really, really into it. And he got me really back into it because I was a childhood fan. I would watch all the time with my family, and we, would every Thursday night when it was on Thursdays, it was a weekly ritual for my family to get together and watch Survivor. And then I fell off of it as soon as I got into high school. And then my roommate got me very deep back into it. And I kept telling him, you should apply, dude. It should be you because you're a college runner. He was super in shape after he got out of college, running D1 cross country and track. He started coaching it back here in Baltimore. I was like, dude, you're a huge fan. You're a huge student of the game. And you are physically built to dominate. All the people who are challenge beasts are always the cross country runners, because it's all about endurance and stamina, and being lanky really helps. So I was like, dude, you're
shout out Kyle.
Yeah. I was dude, you're built to go dominate this show. It should be you. And he was always like, oh, yeah, like, I'll do it. But he never actually did it. And so then eventually I was like, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it just to show you that it's possible. And then I put in one audition video in March of 2023 and I didn't hear anything back. And I did a second audition video in September of 2023. And that one, they got back to me. Yeah. And at the time, I was working a job that I really, really did not like. I hated my job. And so Survivor.
What was your job?
I was a communications director for a mayoral campaign here in Baltimore. And it was like the most money I had been making at the time. And it was definitely like the highest profile job I had, but I really didn't like it, but I didn't have any alternative. So like going through Survivor casting kind of became like my second job, where I was like, this is my get out of jail free card. That like, if I can get on this show, then like I have the perfect excuse to leave this job, because it wouldn't have been viable for like the people in my life or even for that job to be like, hey, I'm leaving because I don't like it. Like it just like for me, that wouldn't have been acceptable. For like my parents who, are big motivators for me, like that wouldn't have been acceptable. And that was totally understandable because I didn't have anything lined up other than that. I would have had to go like, not that there's anything wrong with this, but I would have had to go wait tables or bartend or something until like I found another legit job in the industry I work in, and like broadcasting and communications. It's not a very potent job market. So I was like, if I can get on Survivor, then I can quit this job and nobody will be upset with me. Like everybody will be very encouraging for me to quit this job. So that was kind of my big motivation at the time. It was this get out of jail free card for a career I really didn't like, but I didn't have any other alternative. So I took casting very seriously, and it paid off for me.
Absolutely. What would you say? You said you put in your first video in March of 2023, and then the next one September. Did you say?
Yeah. So they do casting for 2 seasons at a time. So they film seasons back to back. So they filmed 47 in May, and then they filmed 48 in June. And they do the casting for that at the same time. So like the prime time to try and get on the show is probably like August through like December. Like that's when you usually want to apply. It's when they're looking at the most applicants. Not to say that if you apply in January, February, March, or like even April, that you don't have a chance. But when they're really going through casting videos and doing the process is usually through the fall, in the very beginning of winter. So that's when I would suggest anybody who wants to apply, putting your video is around then.
What do you think was different from your first video? You didn't hear anything back.
Yeah. I think that the timing definitely helped the second video, but the first video, I tried really, really hard. And like, I like had like the background of my video, like all set up, and like, I like did my hair, and like, I like shaved like a huge mustache to like try and stand out. And I told like a 10-minute long story. Like, and I had like a script, and I tried really, really, really hard. And then and I didn't hear anything back. And then the second video, like I was kind of over it, and I just had like a day off work, and I was like, you know what? Like, screw it. Like, and I just woke up out of bed, like still in my pajamas, like hair was all crazy. And I just
Dude, your hair is sick, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I just like ranted into my computer screen for like 3 minutes. And it was just like one cut, one take, just ranted. And then I sent that in. And it was literally just so I could like say that I did it, And that was the one that ended up getting me a call back. And I think the reason is because they really don't like the like super done up casting videos. Like they want to see you, because the thing is that like you're not going to be super done up and have a script and everything be perfect when you're on the show. And they want to know who you're going to be on the show. And they just need to get a glimpse of that in your video. And so I think that they appreciated how much more like genuine and like stripped down my second video was versus my first one. And I think once they saw that, they were like, okay, we can do something with this guy.
Before you stepped on the beach, what did you think Survivor would be like, and how accurate was that picture?
I would say that like I thought it would be like how it looked on the show, like in terms of just like the appearance of it all and like how the whole setting of it all looks, and it does. But that's almost kind of the weird thing, is that like it's like you're in the TV screen is what it feels like. And especially now, because they use the same beach for every single season, and they're always in Fiji, that it's like Ozzy played where I am playing right
Yeah,
now. Like
that's cool.
Tony and Sandra and like all these people. Like I'm at the same water well that they were at. I'm sleeping in the same place that they sleep.
Sorry to interrupt. Do they keep the same beach, like the same section as like for each
Yeah.
camp? You know what I mean? Like they don't ever
They
change
have
it up?
like 5 different beaches that they use. Like you first get off the boat and like you go and you talk to Jeff. It's like, all right, like there's Jeff, and you've talked to him a couple times at this point through casting, but now he's in like survivor mode and like you're in Fiji with him, so it's a little different. And then for us, when we like did like a walk through the jungle, and then we came out to our first challenge, that marooning challenge, and it's like it feels like you're in an amusement park just because you have these structures that are like so big and like you get to like interact with them, like it's one thing to walk through like a big city, but you're not like climbing the buildings, but when you're out there, it's like there are these huge like 20-foot structures, 30-foot structures, and these big mud pits and like all these rope courses that you got to climb through and everything, and it's like you get to touch them, you get to interact with them, you get to climb them, you get to dive into them, like all this different stuff, these huge puzzle pieces that you get to play with. And it's just like it's this just it's awe-inspiring, but it's weird because it is what it looks like on TV. It's exactly what you would expect, but that's kind of what's crazy about it, is that it's what you expected. Like what you see on TV, it's actually real. It does not dumb down when you get there, and like they just fix everything in the post edit. It's like, oh no, this is what it looks like on TV, and now it's right in front of me. So it's a very awe-inspiring feeling. It's pretty crazy.
This is another reason I've come to realize that the more I watch Survivor, I tend to like characters that just remind me of myself. And you are like that. Kyle's like that. Saul's like that. You had such an incredible cast, but something you said, and I remember you saying in one of the episodes too, you're like, I can be like a kid again, like out here exploring. Like that's me, man. Like I actually live next door to my parents now, but where they live is where I grew up, and we have 10 acres. I was always out in the woods and like that just sounded so fun. Like the way you described that, like just doing whatever you want.
Yeah. Having like that freedom again was pretty intoxicating, just because once you get to like a certain age, especially once you get like out of college, you just don't have time to not worry about things anymore. Like whether it's your job, whether it's finding a job, if you got a family, if you got like a wife or like a serious girlfriend, like, all those things are become like responsibilities that you have. And the idea of just like, I'm going to go outside and play with my friends all day long, and then I'm going to come home and I'm going to eat dinner and I'm going to go to bed. Like that doesn't exist anymore once you become an adult. Like, and everybody, if they had good childhoods, like remember that feeling of like you get home from school or it's a early Saturday morning and you grab your bike and you go out in the
Saturday morning cartoons, baby.
Yeah, right. And then like you eat a bowl of cereal and you just grab your bike and you meet up with all your friends and you just play outside like for 10 hours, and then you go back home and then you go to sleep, and then you do you go and you do it all again the next day. And like that goes away, you get older, and it's like, well, I can't go play with my friends because like I got this kid that I got to take care of, and I got to make sure that they can go do things, or I got to go to my job, which is the big one for a lot of people, or it's like, I'm here with my wife or my husband, and like I got to attend to them, and they have things that they want to do with me, so I got to go do that. And when you go out to Survivor, it's this very unique thing of like, go do whatever you want. You're outside all day long. You have this group of people that are your peers in some way, shape, or form. Do whatever you want. Go play with them. Go hate them. Get into fights with them. Like, go do all these crazy challenges in these games with them, And it's just like this level of childlike freedom that you don't have anymore. And so to have that, it's like you really get a pure sense of what that feels like again. It's very nostalgic in a lot of ways.
You described it perfectly, just intoxicating. I think that was a perfect descriptor for that. All right, so moving on. Did you train, study past seasons, or change anything about your daily life leading up to the game? Did you train as in like, did you, were you hitting the gym?
Yeah. So I was going to the gym a lot, which is not something I do, as I was going through casting. And then once I got like deeper into casting and it started to feel more real, I started building an obstacle course in my backyard with my dad, which was really, really fun. And then like once I got word like a month out that it was legit and I was going, I quit my job and I would just go up to my parents' house for like 7 hours a day. Like that became my full-time job. And we would just like grind the obstacle course and like work out a ton and do like a lot of like survival training. So like making fire, making food, like with just a fire and that's it. And like that became my job for a month and it was awesome. And it was like, it was funny because I remember like you do anything for like a month and it becomes like your routine. Like it's fascinating how quickly humans can adapt to something.
Absolutely.
And
Have you ever read the book Atomic Habits? If not,
No.
shout, oh my God, you got to read that book. But sorry, go ahead.
So like you do something for a month and like that kind of becomes like your life. And so I was doing that with my dad for like a month and I'm very close with my dad and then we got like very very close going through that process. And I remember like when it ended when it was time for me to go to Fiji, I was like very emotional. And I just remember like the last day that we were training, like we like got like some raw fish and we like skinned the fish and like we cooked it and like we like made rice from scratch, like all over a fire that I made. And it was just like, I got very emotional because I was like, oh, like this is ending. Like this thing that I've been doing with my dad for like a month is like it's over and like but it shouldn't have been like that. It should have been like, all right, like let's get to Fiji, let's go, like like come on, like we're going and this is what we were doing it for. But it was like very like kind of I was very somber about it because I was like I really like doing this and I'm very used to doing this now and this is my routine and I get up every day and I drive up here in the morning and we do the obstacle course and we work out and we talk strategy and like we do survival skills and like now this is over. And like, we're never probably going to get to do something like this for these stakes again, And so I remember being very like, not sad, but like melancholy about it, And that was something I didn't expect when it was happening. And I locked in very quickly after that because I left like 2 days after that last day of us like training and getting ready. But yeah, it was a weird feeling. I really, really liked that training with my dad. And like I was in really good shape, like I was in the best shape of my life, and like it was just a hard but fun thing to do every day. To just like run through all these obstacles that we created and like talk strategy and talk survivor and like work on making a fire and work on cooking food and like all these different things, It was really cool. And I really miss that a lot. But it kind of, leads into my next point that it's like when you were out on Survivor, like it's the same psychology of like you're out there for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, all of a sudden like that's your life. Like you kind of forget, you don't forget, but you kind of forget what it's like to
You're
live
just immersed.
again. Yeah, exactly. And you just do the same routine for like 2 weeks straight and your brain just like locks into it. And it's just like, that's all you think about. It's just like, I'm going to go to sleep on the ground and then I'm going to wake up and then I'm going to go and I'm going to walk into the ocean and I'm going to use the bathroom and then I'm going to walk back from the ocean and we're going to get ready to go to the challenge. So I'm going to go do all the things I need to do to get ready for the challenge. And then we're going to go to the challenge. We're going to get back and maybe we have to go to tribal and we're going to scramble to go to tribal. And it's just like this routine you adapt to like incredibly fast. And it's just like, this is my life now. It's like, I've been doing this for my whole life. It's a very fascinating psychological space that you get put in.
Absolutely. That's awesome. I didn't have this as a question, but now I'm curious as you were talking, how difficult would you say? I would imagine that the first like few days are the hardest just in terms of, it's just so new and raw. And you're not used to,
It's just like all you're not settled into anything, It's like you're not settled into how hungry you're going to be. Like you just have to eat those first few days. Or bad choice of words, but like you just have to accept those first few days as like this is going to be terrible. Like my body is going to be screaming at me like, what are you doing? You're not used to sleeping on the ground and getting like 2 hours of sleep a night. Your body's going to be screaming at you like, what are we doing right now? And you have to go through all of that without any support system. It's not like, like I have like my dad who I was training with, to be like
nobody.
Yeah, because like if you're going through something tough, usually like you kind of take for granted how great it is to have somebody you really love and care and trust to be like, hey, this really sucks. Like, can you give me a hug right now? Like, or like, can we talk about how much this sucks? But you don't have that. It's like these absolute strangers and you don't know if they hate you. You don't know if everything they're telling you is a lie. and you're going through this really, really shitty experience, or at least like shitty part of the experience, and you don't have anyone to lean on. And like that's really, really hard. But once you get through like those first like 4 or 5 days, everything gets easier. Like all of a sudden, like your body is kind of just chills out. And it's like it's not asking like, what are we doing? It's like, oh, this is what we're doing. Like we're going to be really hungry. Okay, cool, we're hungry. Or like we're not going to get a lot of sleep, or like we kind of learn like how to sleep on the ground, or how to sleep on like.
Give me some tips. What are some good tips?
Sleeping on the ground. You just do it. You just do it. You know. So like all of those things, you kind of just settle into. But those days when you are settling into it are brutal. Like so rough in every regard.
Yeah, I can only imagine. All right, let's move on to the next one. So what was the single thing you were most nervous about before leaving? If anything. I mean, maybe you weren't nervous about anything.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty jacked up for it. And like I felt like I was like as ready as I was ever going to be.
The adrenaline probably just.
I think it's just all the anxieties that anybody has. Like, am I going to be the first one voted out? Like, is this going to be a disaster? Am I going to be one of the first people voted out? Not even the first one of the first like 4 people voted out. Like, am I not going to make the merge? Like, have I put so much emotional and physical and financial investment into this, and it's just going to be like and then, you go home and that's it. And you get to say you played Survivor for 2 days and then
right. That's the worst part. I was thinking about that too. It's like, can you imagine?
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal. But I don't think that was unique to me. I think that's like everybody has that anxiety,
Yeah.
And I was at a point where like I broke up with my girlfriend I was dating at the time, like a couple months before I went out. I quit my job, like I said. So I didn't really have a whole lot to worry about back at home. Like I think people who are like more settled in their life, that have like a really legit career, that have a family, that have kids, like you have more things to worry about. But I didn't have any of that. And that was all kind of by design. And so I kind of went in with like worrying about nothing but the game.
Right. Do you think if you had a family or some other staple, of someone depending on you back home, do you think that would have pushed you to maybe play any differently? I mean, I think you played an incredible game to begin with. But.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a double-edged sword because I think it gives you more to be anxious about.
Yeah.
Just because it's like I'm spending time away from my family to go do this. And also like I'm representing my family doing this. Like for me, like I was really only representing myself. But if you have like kids and like a wife or a husband, like you're an extension of them. So it's like if you go out there and you make a fool of yourself, or you do something like heinous or whatever, like that falls back on them too. So I think, that affects it. But also, I think it definitely gives you some extra fire underneath you to be like, I'm not just playing for myself. Like if I screw this up, then like only I have to deal with that. But, if I can go and I can win, like it's not just me that's getting the fruit of that labor. Like these people that I love and care about and go through life with are also getting that. So I think it kind of cuts both ways. Maybe you play a little more conservative or don't play as hard because you're worried about, how you're going to be perceived and how your family will be perceived. But on the other side of that, it's like, hey, like I'm playing for something bigger than myself. And maybe that pushes you even harder. I don't know. I can't say.
Yeah, it's kind of situational,
Yeah.
So looking back, let's move on here. Who were you as a person before Survivor, and what was the number one thing, you were looking to get out of the game? What, if there was anything, were you looking to take, something, any type of insight or?
I mean, I think I definitely wanted to go win more than anything. And I think I was just such a big fan of the show that I wanted to be like a part of it, like I wanted to like go in and be a legit player on a cast of legit players. And I think I got exactly that, like I have a whole lot of like pride and contentness with like how I did and how, I was portrayed on the show. And like I got to play with like a unbelievable cast of players, like straight killers, like so many people.
Yeah, man.
I think like win or at least go really, really far on the vast majority of seasons of Survivor. And they ended up casting us all together, which is awesome. So like, I think I got everything I wanted out of the game short of winning. Like I found an idol and I got to play it. and I won tribal challenges. I won individual immunity. I got to participate in a survivor auction. Like I got all these. It was such a full experience that like the only thing I really didn't get to cross off my list was making it to the finale, and like
Right.
that was it. So I was very satisfied with what I got out the game.
I love the survivor auction, man. It's just such
Yeah.
a classic.
It's so fun.
I
The fact
felt
that
so
they-
bad for you though with the coconut.
that was brutal. Yeah, that's tough. But like they don't do it every season now.
Yeah.
You know, so the fact that we got to do it was like an even bigger deal.
That's like one of the things I love about this game too. And like Jeff and the other, just everybody, man, they're really good about just throwing in a wrench here.
Yeah.
Look at like the season 49 episode 2, the one that aired last night. I mean, the twist with the tribe disadvantage, that was super cool.
That was fun. That was really fun. Yeah.
And it's that, because if you don't do that stuff, I mean, the game's just going to get stale. But
yeah.
So let's move on to the next one. What was your very first thought or feeling when your feet hit the beach and the game officially began?
It was just like, it's go time. Like I was full like Mamba mentality, like it's go time. And I had like maybe like 2 moments where I really properly like stopped to smell the flowers. Like the entire time it was just like foot on the gas, go, 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 go. And that was like no different when I first got there. It was just like lock in. There's going to be a handful of people here that are just like, oh my God, we're here. And it's like, don't be one of those people.
Right.
Those are the people that are going to get snipped. Or those are the people that are going to look around. And when they finally lock in, they're going to be like, oh no, I missed it. Like everyone is playing and has been playing and I missed it. So I was just like, totally just like act like this is another day at the office for you.
Right. I think that's perfect. I mean, that's how you got to do it, because I think like you did it perfectly. I mean, you went in, you set aside a specific amount of time and you're like, all right, let's, just enjoy this, embrace it. But I mean, you guys, how much time do you guys have at Ponderosa before the season starts?
5 days.
Okay. So you've got some nice acclimation time there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. And like, you're not allowed to talk at all. Right. To anybody, so it's like you're not really like experiencing a whole lot, but it is.
But are you like seeing people like literally? Like, are you face to face with people? And you're
you're all together all the time. Like, there's never a time where you're apart. But you're just constantly being like handled by producers, and you're very strict, like not allowed to talk and all that stuff. You're not allowed to like do anything. So there's like a pool there, but you're not allowed to swim, because they don't want people to see like, are you good at swimming? Right. And it's the same, like you can't like work out. You can't like start doing push-ups or like run or whatever, because it's like, oh, this dude can crank out like 30 push-ups in like, however much time. Like, so you kind of just have to sit there and pass the time.
Really?
Wow. Yeah. And that's
interesting. I did not know.
It's pretty brutal in its own right. But yeah, I was just like, let's just go, dude. Like, let's just go. And those first 5 days, to your point, is like a good time to kind of just be like, okay, we're here. Like, we're in Fiji. We did the plane ride. We're here. Like, we've seen the trees. We've touched the sand. Like, like it's okay. You're baby. Here. Now play. Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's move on. What is something, I really like this question. What is something you did that didn't make the show's edit, but you thought was important to your story? Hopefully there was one. And then secondly, do you think there was anyone from your season who got a weird edit?
I would say my relationship with Caroline really did not get like any screen time whatsoever. And I totally understand why, because we just didn't go to tribal, And so like what you get in the edit is like me trying to get Caroline to work with me, her saying no, me showing her that I have the idol, and then her being like, okay, I'll work with Gabe. But like, that's not how it went at all. And I get why they did it like that, because it was like, we just need to like, the only thing that's important is that Caroline wants to work with Gabe. It doesn't really matter how they get there.
Right.
And this moment of me showing her the idol is just a very easy to understand way of like, okay, he showed like, she didn't trust him. He shows her the idol. Now they trust each other. Like, that's the very simplified, way of showing the story. Right. But that's not how it went at all. She actually was like upset that I showed her the idol, because she was like, oh, I'm going home. And he thought that showing me the idol would like make me calm down and like not play my shot in the dark or not think I'm going home. Like, but what really got me and Caroline to like work together and trust each other, was like these like hours long conversations we would have on the beach in like the middle of the night. And like a lot of it was like talking strategy and talking about like how we wanted to play the game together. But it was also a lot of just like more like big picture, philosophical, like Survivor stuff
I love
about
that. I love that.
like what we like, whose games we like in the past, and like what pieces we want to emulate from it, and like what like new things we want to try together, and all this and that. And like that's what really got me and Caroline close, was like those really long, like deep Survivor philosophical conversations that like you just wouldn't really have with somebody that you didn't want to work with, you know?
Mhm.
Like you wouldn't invest that much time and emotion and energy into these conversations with somebody that you were like, well, I just want to vote them out as soon as I can. And that's what really got Caroline on my side. And like none of that made the edit whatsoever. And again, I totally get why. If we had gone to tribal more often as a starting tribe, I think I probably would have, but we only went once and it was really early. So like I get why I didn't make the edit, but I wish it did, because those were like some really good conversations.
Yeah.
And it showed that me and Caroline had a very good, deep relationship out there that I don't think anybody really knows about, because they just didn't make any screen time. In terms of weird edits, that one's tough because everybody got like a really honest edit, which again is like unusual but very rewarding and satisfying. I think everybody got like a really solid edit, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Like I think maybe the only one I would say would be like Saul, maybe. But even Saul, I thought, got a pretty good edit. Like in the confessional, Saul was a bit like goofier. And when he was out there, he was like very like straight laced and like poker player and like hard to read and like very serious. But in real life, he's like a very goofy dude and like fun to be around. And I think you got a lot of that in the confessionals, and you didn't get a whole lot of his like hard ass, like, you know, this is what's happening. This is what we're doing. He was very much like a field general out there. He didn't really get any of that. But for the most part, like everybody got like really good edits. Like Sam's edit was great. Genevieve's edit was great. Annie's edit was fantastic. Like Rachel's edit was fantastic. So was Teeny's. Like
I thought Andy was toast, dude. After that anxiety,
everybody did. He thought he was toast.
That's just wild. I was like, he is done.
Little did we know.
Shout out Andy. He's actually from, so I live, I'm not sure if you're familiar with New York, but Syracuse.
Yeah.
I'm like 45 minutes away from Syracuse, but he's from Buffalo, so not that far. This question actually came from Liz from season 46.
Oh, really? Okay, nice.
All right, let's move on. What do you think the most difficult part of the game was for you? So was it, the lack of food?
Yeah.
Was it building trust?
Definitely the boat rides. And that's something that obviously doesn't make the edit at all. The boat rides are terrible. Like
really?
They're so bad. Yeah. So you're not allowed to see anything, because you can see like other islands and like challenges and stuff when you do the boat rides, like to and from tribal and to and from challenge spots. So they put you like in like this lower level of the boat, and they black out all the windows.
What?
And
That's wild.
Yeah. And the weather is like, or the waves are really, 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 really choppy. So like you're already motion sick because the whole time you're like going like this. And then on top of that, you can't see anything.
You're pitch black, yeah.
Orienting. So like you're like going up and down, and you can't see anything, and you don't know when like a big wave's gonna come and it'll just hit you. So it's like you're just incredibly nauseous the entire time. You don't know how long it's gonna take. Like you don't know like if it's gonna be an hour long or 2 hours long or like an hour and a half. So you're kind of just sitting there like waiting for it to end, and you're not allowed to talk to each other the entire time. So you just have to sit there and like suffer. And it's just like, it's so brutal. And like, you're so seasick. You just don't know anything and you can't say anything. It's just, the whole thing is just so unbearable. The boat rides were so bad. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, and like everybody has to deal with it, like crew members included. Like they all have to take the same boats to the same places. It's a little bit easier on them because they can at least like be like on the upper deck and they can like see everything and talk and like chill out. But like there's still just really, really rough boat rides.
Why can't you guys talk to each other?
Because they don't want any conversations to happen that they can't capture.
Right. Okay.
And on the boats, there's obviously no camera because they're just kind of moving you around.
Right.
So like, if I were to be like, hey, Aaron, like, I found an idol or something. Like,
Right.
if that's the first time I tell you, like, they don't want it to.
Right. 100%. That makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
total sense. I've heard the waters are rough. I mean, I forget what season was it where I think his name was Pat. He like got medevaced. Like, he, like,
On the
messed up his
opening go
back.
round. Yeah, like it's really, really bad.
I felt so bad for that dude.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, that was a good question. All right, so what decision, vote, or relationship on the island do you think shaped your story the most? Maybe had the most impact, you know? Or...
I think the easy answer is probably Sue. I mean, like hour one, day one, I walked up to Sue and I was like, I want you to be my number one ally. Like, let's win this game together. And we stayed true to that until I went home. And obviously she made it all the way to the finale. I think
love she's so great. And I love that you guys had that alliance.
Oh, she is the best. Yeah. I think that, I don't know. It's tough because Caroline is also up there. And I think the deeper I got into the game, the less I tended to that relationship with Caroline. And I think it was pretty easy for her to vote me out when she did, just because like the Saul vote, she didn't have a vote. So she was not very involved in that vote at all. And then the Sierra vote, like she wasn't super involved in either. And I think that we got deeper and deeper into the game. And I think she kind of started to realize like it's more about him than it is about us. And when we first started working together, it was a lot more about like me and Gabe, like Team Gabe and Caroline. And now it kind of feels like I'm just doing whatever he needs to do so that he can go in. And I think if I attended to that relationship more and like kept her more in my inner circle as we got deeper into the game, maybe she would have fought harder to keep me around. But yeah, like the answer is definitely like that Sue vote was huge, or that Sue alliance was huge. But the Tiana vote was a big moment for me. That was like probably my biggest victory out there in terms of like social strategy, because if they wanted to, they could have voted me out there. And I was the other name. It was going to be me or Tiana in that vote. And for Caroline and Sue to like stick with me there, like I felt really, really, really good going into that vote, even after Rachel left. And it was between me and I was like, no chance that anybody but Tiana's going home tonight. But when I go back and I watch that episode, I'm like, it was a lot closer than I thought it was. Like, so for them to stick by me in that moment was just like, it was like a huge just planting the flag. Like I ran this tribe. Like Tuku was my tribe. Like I got everything I wanted whenever.
Coolest tribe name ever, by the way. Tuku. Oh my god, that's awesome.
Really cool.
Love that name. So I'm interested in this one. What was the very first thing you did when you got back?
I got back home. My parents picked me up from the airport. They dropped me off at my house, and I walked into the front door of my house and I saw my two roommates sitting on the couch watching the Orioles. And it was kind of this like really bizarre moment, and not to compare myself to a service member, a veteran, but I hear that people who get back from serving overseas have like a very similar experience where like I got home, I opened the door and they were just like on the couch watching the O's. And I was like, oh, I had this moment where I kind of looked at them and I realized like, oh, you guys have been doing like the same thing that we do every day for the past like 5 weeks. And like, I have been doing something very much not the same. Like I've been having this like crazy out of body, larger than life experience for, again, enough time that it became like my life. It was my routine, you know? And I was like, oh shit, like the last 5 weeks of your guys' life has been exactly the same. Like nothing changed. Yeah. But like for me, it was so crazy. So that was like the first thing after like seeing my parents that I did. And then I sat down and we watched the Orioles game together. And then like, I told them whatever I was allowed to tell them at the time. But yeah, it was a really bizarre moment. It was just like, oh wait, like everybody in my life back at home, like wasn't also playing.
I know, right?
And it's like, these are like my best friends from like my life. But now I have like this whole Survivor family, and you guys don't know anything about any of these people,
right?
Like, and they mean the world.
I can't imagine like you come home and you have so much like information that you want to share with people, and
yeah,
like, you can't.
You know? And then even the stuff that like doesn't like break your NDA or isn't about the game, it's just like, dude, like there's this guy Saul there, and he's so cool, and like we're such good friends now, and he's like he does this and that, and like he said this one day, and they're just like, all right. Like, I guess we got to look out for that dude when the show comes out, because they don't get it. Like, they can't even conceptualize what you were doing out there, much less the people you were doing it with. So it's this, like, you kind of just have, like, you're stuck in between two lives, you go and you live this new life in Fiji, and then you come back to your old life, but you're kind of 1 foot in each place.
What's that time frame between like you getting back and then the show airing? What is, like, 10 months?
Well, it depends, because if you're on the first season that films, it's only like 3 months. We got home in June and then it airs in September. But if you're on the second season that films, it's like you get home in July and it doesn't air till February. So you got like 7 months. But we were lucky. Ours came out pretty quick.
I mean, you say lucky, but 3 months is still pretty, like, I can't imagine.
Oh, yeah, it's long, but it's just for me, it's better than 7.
Yeah. I just thought of a question, but I'm pretty sure I put this one in here. So let's move on to the next one. I think it's later on. How did Survivor change how you see yourself? Did you discover any new strengths or weaknesses or flaws that you had?
Yeah, I think that I like to think I'm kind of like a dude's dude. I grew up in a house with all boys and my mom. And so, not that I've ever been like afraid of like my emotions or something like that, but I've always been like a dude. Like you maybe not super affectionate and like everything, you just keep a cool head.
You just withhold some emotions sometimes.
Sure, yeah. And being out in Survivor, and this was more, I mean, like being incredibly stripped down of just like all your comforts really expedites this. But I think the people I was with is really what kind of unlocked this for me, of just like more affectionate, with like the people who I really care about in life, and kind of wearing my emotions a bit more on my sleeve. That just the fact that like all of us out there were like so stripped down, and like, you don't realize, and this is like a big cliche, but you don't realize how much you take for granted when like bad shit's happening to you, like when like everything in your life is going bad, when you're just having a bad run. It's like, but I get to go home to my house every night, and I get to have a full belly every single day, and I get to sleep in my own bed every single night, and like I get to be surrounded by very familiar people and familiar surroundings every single day. So even when everything is like just shit, like you have all of those things that you completely take for granted. Even if you don't take it for granted, you take it for granted. And you don't realize how much easier it is to go through bad times when you are in your own house and you have a full belly and you're around people that you at least recognize. Like all of those things make going through shit so much easier. And when you're on Survivor, it's like, I'm having a really bad day today. And I look around and I'm in the fucking junk. And I want to eat something and I can't eat anything. And when I look at the people, I don't know any of these people. And it's like all of that just sucks, or like my clothes are wet and I can't even walk around naked. They're all soaking wet and I'm covered in bug bites and like all this sucks. So it just gives you like this extra layer of gratitude for like, even when things are going bad, things are going good,
You touched on it earlier too. I mean, when you said, you can become accustomed to things very quickly.
Yeah.
And, when we're at home, I mean, that's just, we're so accustomed to it because I mean, that's our life, right? So
yeah.
I mean, it's so funny also that the fact that, at the end of the day, it's a game where someone's going home, someone's dreams are being crushed, but you still are able to develop these relationships and build like real foundational relationships that are, I don't know, that's just really cool.
Yeah. And being around people who like were a lot more in touch with their emotions than I was. And again, I don't want to paint myself as like some dude who like isn't in touch with his emotions at all, because I think I am even before I went out there. But I was with people who like really wore their heart on their sleeve and would like
and when someone else opens up, like you feel like you can open up as well.
For sure. And having people come up and just be like, hey man, like I really love you. Like I appreciate you, like that was like, oh, like you can just say that and it feels good, and just things like that. So I think I came back with like a lot more gratitude for the everyday things that I have. And I think I came back a lot more just like comfortable and like willing to really like open myself up emotionally to people, especially people I care about.
Absolutely. All right, so let's go on to when you got back, right? And then you watched the premiere the first time. So where were you when you watched the 47 premiere, and what was it like watching your story air on TV? I mean, Have you ever been on TV before this? Was this your first?
So
I know you're a radio guy.
Yeah, so definitely not in like this capacity. I had done like some like small stuff, but like I had been on the radio a lot, so I was used to kind of like me being out there, like my voice being out there, my opinions being out there. So that wasn't like super shocking, and I think that is shocking for a lot of people who play. I had a big premiere party at a local bar here in Baltimore, and it was crazy because it was like everybody from every walk of my life, every era, from people I knew in elementary school to like my parents and like my parents' friends to like my cousins
cool.
and my aunts and uncles to like my roommates that I'm all my friends that I hang out with now and like my high school friends. Like it was just everybody from my life was there. And that was crazy. And I had like a pretty big premiere. Like I was a big part of the premiere. I just got a lot of screen time and a lot of confessionals. So it was crazy. It was the craziest thing ever. It was so cool. It was just like, it was a holiday is the best way I describe it. It was just like this holiday that only existed for people in my life, you know? And it was awesome. And, you know, I was super happy with the edit. It was super fun. All of it was fun. All of it was great. It was awesome.
And the fact that, you know, like, because I mean, pretty much I would say, I mean, everybody who gets a shot on Survivor, this is their dream, right? Like,
yeah.
And to be able to just sit down, relax, and just watch it happen, and just know that like all the work you put in got you there. Like that's
right. Crazy. Yeah. And then it's like you were doing it like for yourself, but like for all these people. Like you knew how excited they were going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You knew how much like they were rooting.
Yeah.
And then to like finally get to like share it with them and be like, here it is. And you don't get to watch the episodes ahead of time. So you're kind of watching the episodes like with all these people together. So it's just like a full out of body, like awesome.
Just surreal. Yeah.
So surreal, so rewarding. Like it was great.
So curious about this one too. So how has Survivor shaped the opportunities, relationships, or even career moves in your life since?
Yeah, it's cool. It's just like you always have something to talk about with anybody you meet. And that's awesome. It's just, you know, you never have an awkward conversation because you talk to anybody, you can be like, yeah, I was on Survivor and they want to know about it. So that's always really cool. It's the ultimate icebreaker.
Probably the coolest icebreaker in my opinion.
It's got to be up there, right? I think that, you know, in like that same vein, just like any job you interview for, getting to put that on your resume, it's going to give you just like that cool factor. And the job that I have now, when I interviewed for it, they were like, so there's a pretty big gap in your resume here. There's like 2 months that you didn't have a job. Like, what's that all about? And I was like, I was on Survivor. And they were like, what? And I was like, the show. And the lady who was interviewing me was like, oh my God, me and my husband love that show.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay, so I got the job. And then I don't know. It's just like I hate to like sound like a braggart, but it's just like all the people you've known for a while, you just get this kind of street cred, you know? It's like people are like, oh, I went to, you know, elementary school, or I went to middle school with that guy. And like he was on Survivor. So like when you walk out to the bar and like you see people that you went to high school with, I think some people kind of dread that experience. Mm-hmm. And not that I ever dreaded it, but now those people walk up to me instead of being like, yo, what's up? It's like, oh, Survivor guy. Like, what's good, dude? Like, so like all that's cool. And like, you know, like dating and stuff, it's fun that you can always have that icebreaker of just like, you know, hey, I did this cool thing. So you kind of, it's just the street cred of it all. Like you kind of get to walk around with some street cred. And I hope that there are still like, you know, career oriented opportunities that it opens up for me, whether it's being on another show or whether it's just like, you know, having a leg up in a job interview that I really want to nail because I did it. Like, I don't think that part of it's over, you know?
Oh, absolutely. No, I hope to see more of you, man. I loved your game. And again, I loved your cast. You know, I know we've got a couple, Genevieve's in 50.
She's the only one from our cast.
Is she the only one? Okay.
Crime, if you ask me. But yeah.
Prime?
A crime.
Oh,
but also Prime.
I was like, oh, Prime. All right. So if you could only pass one lesson, and this question, I guess, is catered to me, but also, you know, anyone out there who's just aiming for that shot on Survivor.
Yeah.
If you could pass one lesson from your own game that future players, you know, should take with them, what would it be?
I would say that it depends on what you want. Like if you want to go out there and you want to be a big character, like you have to take advantage of that. And you have to have that. So like one of like, I don't really have a lot of regrets because I played really hard. And also like I came out of it, again, getting to do so much, like finding the idol, winning challenges, doing the auction, like forming alliances, organizing blinds. Like I did the thing, and I came out of it with like this cast of people that are like a family to me. Like, I have so many, such close friends that are so near and dear to my heart now from that cast. So I don't like to say like I have regrets, but if I could go back again and play, I think something I would do differently is I would like lean more into the TV side of it all, because I know that's something that I'm really, really good at. And the only reason I didn't is because I was so into like the game. I was like, I don't care about the cameras. I don't care about the edit. Like, I think that I'm lining
trying to win the game
here to win and be sole survivor and win $1 million. And if I can do that, then like the edit will take care of itself. Like they'll edit me as the winner and I'll be a huge part of the show and blah, blah, blah. And so like you see that like I kind of like taper off a little bit as we get deeper into the show. And it's because I was just like so into like, don't raise any alarms, don't have any big moments, like just keep your head down and try and like push through these next couple rounds and you'll be set up really good to make a run at the end. And I think if I had gone back to play again, I would try to be a bit more of a character. Yeah. I would like try and like mix it up with people more around camp. And I think I would try to have like more big moments, and that's something that I think I kind of put on the back burner when I was out there. And then when the show came out, I was like, damn, I didn't really have a lot of these, like, I hate to use like this Gen Z term, but like clip moments that like you clip and like you put online. Like I had the Ray Lewis dance, but that was like about it, So if you're going out there, it's like, don't forget that you're on TV and don't forget that you're a main character in a TV show. Like be a main character in a TV show. And no doubt in my mind that if you want to get called back, like it is better to go out in episode 3 and start a bunch of big fights with people and have a bunch of big moments and do a bunch of crazy shit, like run around camp naked or, like go climb a cliff.
Good TV. It's good entertainment.
It's better if your goal was to get called back, it's better to spend 3 episodes doing that than spend 9 episodes playing a really solid but quiet game, So like, it's all about what you want, like if you want to be a character and if you want to get called back and if you want to be like a personality in this community and on that season, like go fucking nuts, like cuss people out, get fucking naked. You're not allowed to get naked anymore. But
I was going to say, are you not? I know Richard Hatch was all about
it. Now they tell you like, don't do it, but like, fuck it, do it anyway, like climb trees and like start shit and spread lies, like do all that stuff. And you probably got a pretty good chance of at least being in the running to get called back again. And like, you'll get a really big edit, for the time that you're there. If you want to win the game, I would say you need to day 1, hour 1, lock in a bona fide number 1, because like it just makes going through the game so much easier. And
would you have number 1, or would you say, like, sorry to interrupt, what's the I mean, do you think 2 would be too much? Because I mean, realistically, if you can get that final 3 locked in,
but it's every person you add makes it harder to keep track of.
That's true.
And so it's like and kind of what you want is you want layers, so it's like you want to have like a group of 4 that's really tight. And within that, you want to have like a group of 3 that's really tight. And within that, you want to have your one other person that you're actually really, really tight with, So you kind of got to like start from the small and then build out and build out and build out. So like for me, I was like, hour 1, day 1, I'm going up to this old blonde lady and I'm saying, I want to work with you. I will do anything to keep you in this game. Like, I want you, I want you, I want you. And that worked out very well for me. And Sue told me everything that she heard in the game, like anything that happened in the game that Sue heard about, she came and she told me. So like that worked out very well. And you need to have that person, because
I was literally just going to say that you need to have one person that you both can just be completely honest and transparent.
Yeah. And those people get snatched up within like the first 2 days. So you don't want to be the second person going up to somebody and saying, hey, let's be number 1s. I'll do anything for you. I'll never write your name down. I'll tell you everything that I hear. And that person might be like, okay, cool. But like, you're late to the party. Like, you're the second or third person that's come up to me. And I've already picked who I want that to be. And it's not you, because you took too long to come talk to me. So it's like hour 1 you need to seriously lock it in with that person.
But how early is too early? You know what I mean? You might come never too early, like day one. You're just
yeah, because everybody's anxious about like it's like first day of school. You know, it's like who's or like you know, like am I gonna have any friends or like the week before prom? Like, is anyone gonna ask me to go to prom with them? Like, everybody wants to be like the first person asked to prom, you know, because then it's like, oh, thank God, I don't have to worry about it. I have a date. I'm going to have somebody to dance with. I'm not going to be a loser. I'm not going to have to take the fucking weird, ugly girl to prom. We're good. You know, like it's good. So like, yes, like move as early as you possibly can and people will be receptive to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. How long has it been? Do you, what's the best way to ask this question? Do you go back and watch 47 often or even like, you know, clips of it? Or when's the last time you've actually seen some?
No, actually. So I spent a very long time not watching like any Survivor. Like when 48 came out, I watched 48 as it was coming out because I wanted to stay up to date. I wanted to like do the podcast and like go to the watch parties and stuff. But I didn't watch like any seasons of Survivor, including 47, for a very long time. And then a few months ago, because it like, it's not like sad. It doesn't make me upset, but I just
bittersweet.
It was going to be a lot. That it was going to just be like a lot of just like general emotion and like weight behind watching it, you know? And then when I finally did go back and watch it, I smoked through the entire season in like a day and a half. I spent like 9 hours one day, like from a pilot episode to Operation Italy. So that's like 10 episodes. I watched
best episode ever, by the way, Operation Italy.
So good. God. And like I watched it back to back to back to back to back. And once I started, I just couldn't stop. And I was like, why did I wait so long to do this? I was like, I'm loving this. This is so much fun. I get to watch all my friends like be badasses. And like, this is so cool. And I get to reminisce. And like, I was blowing up our group chat the entire time, giving them like my live commentary. Like it was so much fun. So I still haven't gone back and watched like any classic seasons. I just don't have the bug the way I used to.
Yeah.
Like I scratch that itch differently now. Mm-hmm. But I kind of want to go back and start watching old seasons again, just because I think it's fun. But it's just like everything changes. You watch it so differently, you know. The whole time I'm like, well, what was really going on there? Like, what did this producer say to them? Or like, what did producer Joe say here? Like, why is coach going off and doing that? You know, so you kind of just watch it differently, and it's a lot more work to watch it because there's a lot more going on in your head.
Right.
And like before I went out there and played, Survivor was the ultimate brain dead show for me. You know, it was like, just like you turn it on and it's in the background and I'm playing on my phone and I look up every once in a while and it's like, oh, Survivor's happening. But now when I watch it, it's like, I kind of like, I can't really look away, you know, and the whole time I'm just like, oh, that was so great. And sometimes I kind of get into like bad self-comparison where it's like, man, why didn't I do something like that when I was out there?
Comparison is the thief of joy, man.
I know. Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot of hard work to watch Survivor now for me, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad.
100%. You want to watch this clip? It's the rice negotiation clip.
Yeah, sure.
From your season. All right, let me throw it up on the screen here.
That's a bag of rice, enough to get you to the end. This is the rice negotiation. I need 4 people to sit out in exchange for rice. This is always a reflection of where the game is because on the surface, the easy deal is 4 people agree to sit out. You agree tonight, we won't vote you out. We'll all have rice. That's not how Survivor works.
No, it's never that easy. And, it'd be great if 4 people felt safe enough that they could sit out. But I don't think that's where the game is right now. I think everybody's still very on edge and very much wanting that necklace a little bit more than the rice.
Is that true? Anybody instantly say, I'd consider sitting out for rice?
Super sweet immunity necklace, by the way.
It was awesome. The dead dad. I love it.
Yeah.
This is 4.
What if 2 of us gave up our shots in the dark?
No.
What if you got all the shots in the dark?
All the shots in the dark?
Every shot in the dark down the line.
Wow. Everybody here willing to give up your shot in the dark on only day 18.
I would do that.
I would do that. I don't have one. I would do it if everyone else does it.
I
Definitely worked out for Rachel.
Make sure
Oh
you're
yeah,
thinking
she was the
clearly,
big winner.
because this is a massive sacrifice from where I sit over here. The shot in the dark is your last gasp, your Hail Mary, your one last chance.
I'll do it if everyone
I'll do
does.
it. I'll do it if
Okay,
everyone
I'm not
does
gonna
it.
say no. I'm thinking.
What's that?
I'm thinking.
Sam, walk me through the reason you're reluctant.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the bottom. I've been on the bottom, and it's easy for the people on the top to say, I don't need my shot in the dark. But when you feel like that might be your only other chance at surviving in this game, that rice, I can go eat rice after I get voted out.
Your vote is more powerful than that shot in the dark. Your vote is how you get out of the bottom, by giving people your vote.
I've been offering my vote. Nobody's wanted to take it.
And you're
You've been
still
trying
here.
to leave me out of the vote.
You're still here because you have a vote. And if you want to lean on your challenge aptitude, that rice is going to help it. If you feel like you're on the bottom, that rice is more valuable to win an immunity necklace than get a 1-in-shot chance at immunity.
You reconsidering or are you locking in, Sam?
I'm not gonna keep rice from the group.
So, Gabe persuaded you.
Sure.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, let me just make sure I have this right. Everybody who has a shot in the dark is prepared to give it to me right now.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll make that deal.
Okay.
Get your shot in the darks. Be very interesting to see if this comes back. Have a little second guess at some point.
I don't have one, Jeff.
Yeah,
Nice.
this is going really well for Rachel. Sorry, guys.
You're all willing to give it up. I'll take him.
Can't believe I proposed something that you were in on. I know. Survivor history here.
Survivor history for sure. Thank you. All the shots in the darks in exchange for one bag of rice waiting for you back at camp. Well done.
That's a pretty big bag of rice.
Yeah, Sue actually took the bag home. So Sue.
Really?
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
That is super cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wanted to ask, like, whose idea was it? Was it Kyle's idea first to throw it out?
I think when we were back at camp, Caroline was the first one who like had the concept of like, what if we traded shots in the dark for rice? And she's the first one to say it. She's like, what if we gave up 2? But Kyle was the first one to say all of them.
That's interesting because, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like if you didn't persuade Sam, and I think you did, but if you didn't do that, I mean, I don't think this rice negotiation would have happened.
Yeah, I don't know if I persuaded Sam. I think I pressured Sam. I think like that's the difference. That like I don't think that he decided to go with the team because of anything like that, like because of any of the context of what I said. I think that it was just like me putting pressure, because at the end he's like, I'm not going to keep Rice from the group. So it's not because of like, I want to keep my vote, which is what I said. It's not because I want to do better in challenges, which is what I said. He was like, I just don't want to keep Rice in the group. And so I don't think that it was the argument I made. I think it was just the fact that I made an argument in the first place.
Yeah. And I think people didn't want to like look like Sam might have been worried about people, thinking down on him. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think just having somebody be like, do it, which is pretty much what I was doing, was enough for him to be like, okay, fine. Clearly they care about this. Where if everybody kind of just sat there in silence, maybe he would have decided to keep a shot.
100%. All right. So let's get to the last few questions here. Totally not related to Survivor, but I thought it would be fun to throw these out. So if you could eat one snack for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Oreos, no second guesses.
No questions asked.
I'll crush 30 Oreos in a sitting. With
golden stuff too, or just a classic?
Hell no, classic. I don't need any variation whatsoever on it. Just straight classic Oreos. I could eat a 100 of those in a sitting. No question.
I agree. Double stuffed or regular?
Regular.
Okay, dude, they have so many variations.
I know. It's
now.
Too many now.
It's too many. And they do that with everything, man. Chips Ahoy. Even I was gonna say. So my snack, and I don't know if it's because I have kids now, like 2 little ones, and they're like into Cheez-Its like hard right now. But Cheez-Its
are great. Yeah,
they're so good. All right, next up, you're forced to sing one karaoke song in front of everyone you've ever met. What's your go-to?
Probably "Beautiful Girls" by Sean Kingston. Just because I know all the words and there's a good like call and response in that song.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
where he's like, he does it like a few times in the song, but he's like,
I just know literally it's like your way to
Yeah.
you.
it was back in '99. Used to chill all the time. So I never thought that we was gonna see each other, and like he does that like 4 different times in the song. So like that's always fun because you get the crowd involved.
It's funny that you say that that's your pick for that reason, because I think mine would be "Ice Ice Baby" by Vanilla Ice, because I can I had every word memorized. I did it at I'm actually divorced now, but on our honeymoon, we went out to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic, and we were at this like karaoke club, and I was smashed, dude, and just did the Ice Ice Baby in front of like 50 people. It was it was one of the coolest moments.
That rocks, dude.
Yeah, this one's fun. If you could bring back any discontinued food or drink from history, what would it be?
That's a very interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
Any discontinued food.
So how you're 28?
27.
No, 27. Okay. So my go-to.
I know what mine would be. The Choco Taco.
Yeah,
like
dude.
Ice cream taco that they used to have that got discontinued. That thing was fire. That was so good. So that's what I would do.
Okay, that's solid. I actually totally forgot about that. I remember seeing that, like in high school. Like, I don't know if you guys had like an ice cream machine, or not machine, but like chest, whatever.
Yeah.
My high school, by the way, I went to a private Catholic school. I graduated with 20 people. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All boys. Nice, dude. All boys. Okay, mine was boys and girls. But how many people were in your graduating class?
We were like a big school. We had like a lot of people, like probably 300 people in our graduating class. Like really big. Yeah.
Damn, that is really big. All right. If you could pop up for a one scene cameo in any TV show or movie ever made, what would it be?
Oh, that's tough.
And I've also been thinking about this one, and I don't know that I have one, just because like I was saying earlier, I'm a huge movie guy and TV show, but it is tough.
I think like Entourage would be pretty fun.
See, I never watched Entourage. I know it looks fun.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's just like there's so many cameos in that like getting to be one of them would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it'd be. I was a huge. You ever watch the TV show Lost?
Yeah.
Dude, I was big into Lost. Supernatural with Dean and Sam. That's a good one. Like and I feel like Supernatural had a decent amount of cameos. I think that'd be pretty sweet.
It ran forever. It's got like a million seasons.
Yeah. This question came from Reddit, from Wasted Time 20. If they want to know, is anybody ever advised by production to mention their sob story in one of their first confessionals or conversations with Jeff or tribe mates of the season? And I think they're talking on season 49. They said it felt extremely forced this season. Like for some of the players, it was literally their first time to even say something in the show or their first round with their tribe.
I don't know. So like, I think that they might ask you about it, but they'll never say like, all right, what's your story? Like, tell us your sob story. But I think they'll be like, how are you doing today? Oh, I'm doing all right. It's kind of hard out here. It's tough. And it's like, is there anybody you wish you had out here right now? And maybe that person's like mom died.
So they guide the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and if you're savvy, you can kind of pick up on what they're asking. But they'll never be like, tell us about your dead mom. They'll be like, if you could have anybody out here right now with you, who would it be? And they kind of know that the likely answer is to be like, I really wish my mom was here. She was a huge Survivor fan and she passed away, and it's really hard not having her, but I'm out here for her, blah, blah, blah. So I think they kind of push you a little bit where they want you to go, but they'll never be very direct or overt about it.
Last question, because this was another one that came from Reddit that I was like, that's interesting. So do you have to go through a strip search before?
No, they do search you. They do like a pat down.
Okay.
It's not a strip search. You keep your clothes on, but they get up there. They make sure. It's nothing inappropriate, but it's like a what I imagine like a FBI pat down is like. They're making sure that you don't have anything on
Right. Well, we know somebody, what was it? Had a pack of matches in their butt, right? Or something like that.
That's the rumor. That's the rumor.
Is it? That's the rumor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Gabe, I appreciate you so much, dude, for hopping on this call with me. The channel here, Chasing Fire, it's growing really quick. I just launched this like a week and a half, or probably a couple weeks now. We're already up to like 112 subscribers. So,
oh yeah, man,
it's growing fast, and I can't wait to chat. With other players. I've got like I was saying, Saul. I think I've got Sam lined up, Liz from 46.
That's gonna be awesome, dude.
Kendra from 45, who I love.
Wow.
There's just a lot of people. I just want to know more about you guys, man.
Yeah,
and if you're honored, man, I'd like to have you back, sometime in the future.
Oh yeah, dude. I was your inaugural guest. This is awesome, dude. This is so much fun. So I'm very honored that I was the first one to be on Chasing Fire, and hopefully you get a lot more people on here and I can come back someday, man. This was so much fun.
All right, man. Thank you. We'll catch you later.
All right. Sounds good, brother.